Today I'm at the village of Enfield near Accrington. It no longer exists anymore. It comes under the village of Clayton and Altham, Clayton Lemurs, and these offices behind me was where they started building the canal. The canal was built, Leeds and Liverpool Canal, in 1801, and the other section which went to church was built in 1810, but this section went all the way to Burnley, and the buildings behind me stored raw cotton, leather and various goods, and it did have a crane, but there was a fire in 1943. When it was first built, the land was purchased off the Petre family at the Dunkenhalgh, and they wanted the towpath on the other side built because they didn't want any poaching. And in 1930 the canal company leased it to a Mr. Beck of Prospect Mill, and then later in 1943 there was a fire which destroyed £250,000 weight in raw cotton and cost £10,000 in damages. Later there was a woodworking, later it was leased to Mr. Hodgkinson's, and it was a woodworking factory. In 2009 it was given the status of a listed building, grade 2. So as you can see, it's quite a large and fine building, and the canal was finished in one section, connected up together to go towards church in 1816. But it took so long because the Peels wanted the canal to go around the factory at church, and that's why it took an extra 9 years to build this extra section from here. But this was the actual dead end towards Burnley, and it didn't go towards Blackburn until 1810, 1816 when it joined up. Thank you. This is the point on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal where it was built in 2 stages, and that way goes to church and Blackburn. It was built later in 1810, and then this way goes all the way to Burnley. This is Blackburn Road, Rishton, and it travels all the way along here to Clayton and Altham, and through here are the council Leeds and Liverpool Canal offices, and these are quite large offices, and they actually stored raw cotton and goods, because here was the end point. This was the earlier stretch. This was built in 1801. These offices were built then, and then this stretch of the canal was early, but this stretch behind going to church was later because of the factory at Church Bank, because it took longer to build the canal towards Blackburn. You can get a better view if you go up this bit of a path, and here there's another warehouse which was used, and for many years this was the Sea Cadets, which they used in the 1990s until now, but before that it was all raw cotton and goods, and that's the Leeds and Liverpool Canal to Clayton Lemurs, Altham, and then Burnley. And these are magnificent offices that you can see now, and they're quite large offices, and apparently there was an arson attack in about the 1940s, and they were set on fire. And there you have it. This is just showing a little bit of a better view. It's a bit noisy because we're right next to the main road which travels through Rishton and Clayton. This village was actually called Enfield, and now the borders have been swallowed up by Clayton and Altham. It's more commonly known as Enfield, but on maps it no longer exists. But these buildings are grade 2 listed buildings because they date from 1801. This is just showing the stonework of the buildings that date from 1801. As you can see, they're quite large warehouses. This is where the canal company stored all the materials in trade and in building the canal of the stretch behind. This is just showing the stone archway. There's a bit of graffiti on this door here, but all this was burnt in the fire, in the arson attack. And then these are mullioned windows. And these are quite common in the 1700s. And this way goes all the way to Clayton and Burnley. And down here there was a crane where they could load the items on, but it was destroyed in the fire. Barges come and go along this stretch of the canal. It's now connected up, and that's it. So this is the Leeds and Liverpool Canal at Enfield, which is near Accrington.